Hey guys, Rex here, and today we're going to be starting a series of command block creations pertaining to medieval style adventure maps. Now, am I actually going to make an adventure map? I really don't know at this point, but depending on how well these creations go and what kind of feedback I get from you guys, we may see a full adventure map in the future, but I'm not sure yet. So, on to what we have for today. I've always found that health potions in Minecraft have been a problem when it comes to adventure maps or combat-related maps because nobody ever uses them. And the reason for that is that they take so stinking long to drink. And when you're fighting mobs, you just have no time to back off and drink a healing potion because it takes like 2 seconds or some crazy long amount of time to drink them. So today, I have made a completely different healing potion system for maps that allows you to drink the potions instantly. So let's demonstrate this new potion system in action here. So I can press this button a couple times and we can get some husks in here and they're gonna try and attack me, and let's say I'm doing really poorly and they're damaging me a lot. I can simply, while I'm fighting them, switch to a health potion, drink it, and continue to fight them. And if I'm taking some more damage, let's say I need to use another health potion, I can't actually do that because there is a cooldown implemented so that you cannot spam them, which would be overpowered. Similar to what we have in Terraria and probably a lot of other games. But as you can see, the cooldown is now up and I can use a greater healing potion, which I have 2 of right here. That's going to do a lot more hearts. And once again, there's a cooldown, 10-second cooldown. I've made it, and I have to wait till the cooldown is up before I can use any more potions. So now let's move on to how this system works here. Now don't get too intimidated by the tons of command blocks here because a lot of them are actually really similar, just repeated over and over again. But first let's take a look at the actual potion items themselves. Now of course I'm using a resource pack, and these are actually carrots on sticks, and as you can see they've got some custom text here that displays how much health they are going to restore. And the carrot on a stick is actually the only item in the game currently that makes it easy to detect when the player right clicks, because it will increment the carrot on a stick, the use carrot on a stick type score every time you right click a carrot on a stick. And we just have a resource pack that says if I have an unbreakable carrot on a stick with 1 damage, make it this healing potion, and 2 damage will make it this greater healing potion. So if we look at this command here, you can see that it's a carrot on a stick with 1 damage here. That is unbreakable, so we can't see a durability bar. Hide flags 4, so we can't see that it's unbreakable. It has the enchantment tag here with no enchantments, and that means it gives it the glow effect that potions have. And we got the name is a healing potion here, and the lore is it restores 8 health in green. Now, I'm going to be doing a video later on how to make colored text using this symbol. I wrote a filter that makes it really easy to get this special symbol in that lets you color text in Minecraft. But like I said, that will be in a later video. And then the greater healing potion is practically exactly the same, except it has 2 damage, which gives it a different model, and it's obviously got the name greater healing potion. Alright, so moving on to the command blocks here, you can see that I've placed down some stained glass just to indicate to myself and to you guys what commands do what. So the red section is for the regular healing potion, the blue section is for the greater healing potion, and then the white section at the end and at the beginning here is for all of the potions and any other potions that I decide to add as well. So first let's take a look at some of the scoreboard objectives we have here. So first we have use potion, which is type stat.useitem.minecraft.carrot on a stick. And so that's going to increment whenever we right click with a carrot on a stick, and that's what we're using to detect when the player right clicks with the potion and they want to use it. The next one we have here is potion slot, which we're going to use to indicate what slot they have the potion in that they're using. Because let's say if we had 2 potions here and I was to use this second potion, if we use just the clear command, it would clear the first potion, this one here, from our inventory. And that wouldn't be right to use this potion and have it clear that one. So that's why we have so many commands back there. It's because we want to use the replace item command to replace the specific one that we use there. Alright, and the next one is constant. We're using that just to store a constant value so we can do a division operation. And we have a healing cooldown T, which you can see on the side here, which is the cooldown in game ticks. So that's why the T is there. And we have healing cooldown S. Sorry about that. and that is going to be the cooldown in seconds, because as you saw, the cooldown there is displayed in seconds above the hotbar. So let's just get this potion back here. So the first thing we're going to want to do for each potion is add a tag on the player that indicates whether or not they're holding that specific type of potion, because that way we can detect what exactly they're trying to right click with and what they're trying to use, and make sure we don't pick it up if they're using a different item that may be a carrot on a stick as well. So that's pretty easy. You can see that if I hold it in my hand and then we do scoreboard, players, tag, me, list, you can see that I have the holding healing potion tag, and for the greater healing potion it's holding large healing potion, and that is the first two commands in each of the red and blue section. So we simply remove the holding healing potion tag each tick and then add it back onto the player if they have the selected item of a carrot on a stick with damage of 1, and it's unbreakable, which means it must be this potion model. And then we do the same thing with the greater healing potion, of course, with damage 2. So the next few commands we're going to look at are executed if the potion is ready to be used, if there's no cooldown left. And that is these 3 red ones here and 3 blue ones there. So let's take a look here. The first thing we're going to want to do is, if the player is holding a healing potion or a greater healing potion for the blue ones, and they used a potion, as in they right-clicked with the carrot on a stick, so we know that they're holding it and they right-clicked, which means they right-clicked with the potion. And if they have no cooldown, this score of healing cooldown T equals 0, we are going to give them the instant health effect. Pretty simple. The next thing we're going to want to do is, if those conditions are exactly the same, they're holding the potion, they right-clicked, and they have no cooldown left, we're going to add the clear potion tag. Now keep that in mind because I'm going to explain that later, and that's what all those white command blocks are for at the very end. So that kind of indicates to the system we want to clear the potion that they're holding from their hand. Alright, and then the next one is, if, once again, those same conditions are true, we are going to give them a cooldown of 200 ticks, which is 10 seconds. And so that way, as soon as they use the potion now has 200 ticks of cooldown. So if I demonstrate here, you can see at the side, it gave me 200 ticks of cooldown. Oops. There we go. Alright, so the next few commands are getting a little bit complicated, because this is where we display the title command on top of their hotbar for the cooldown here. So you can see above my hotbar, it's displaying the cooldown, and it doesn't display it anymore if I hold a different item. And that is what these 5 commands in the middle are responsible for. So let's take a look here. First, we gotta know that our healing cooldown currently at the side is in ticks, right? Game ticks, 20 ticks per second. But because that's kind of not really intuitive to the player, if we displayed the number to them in ticks, we want to display it in seconds, because that's much more intuitive. I can see exactly, 8 seconds. I know how much 8 seconds is, but I don't know how much 109 ticks is, right? I'd have to do the math in my head, and it's not very easy to figure out. So we want to divide our cooldown by 20 in order to figure out what it is in seconds. So first we're going to copy everybody's healing cooldown in ticks objective over to their healing cooldown in seconds objective, if they still have a cooldown. So let's go all the way to the beginning and have a look here. So we're going to execute from all players who are holding the healing potion, because we don't want to really display that if they're not holding the healing potion. And if they currently have a cooldown here, so if their tick cooldown is at least 1, we're going to do a scoreboard players operation on all of those players, and we're going to set their seconds equal to their tick cooldown there. And then the next step, we're going to divide it by 20. So we're once again executing from everybody with those same conditions, and we are going to do another operation, and we're going to divide their seconds by 20. And the way I've done this is I've set up that objective called constant. And then what I like to do is, for every player, not every player, only the ones I'm using, I set the player name. This is the player name here. Number 20, I set their score in the constant objective to 20. So this command will yield 20 here because it's looking for the player number 20 in the objective constant, and I set their value to 20. So it's going to find 20, it's going to divide everybody's score by 20, and voila, we have their tick cooldown converted to seconds. But there is one more thing. right? We want it to be so that 0 seconds means fully ready. We want it to be like 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, ready, right? But when the system does the division, it's going to truncate the number or chop off the decimal points at the end. So for example, it would take, 0.5 would be 0 or 1.9 would be 1, right? And then what happens is you end up getting, instead of 5, 4, 3, 2, 1 ready, you get 4, 3, 2, 1, 0 ready. And that's kind of funky, isn't it? So what we're going to do after that is we're just going to add 1 to their second objective. So we get that 5, 4, 3, 2, 1 ready, which is much more intuitive and it makes a lot more sense. Alright, and the next two are just the actual title commands, so we got a little bit of JSON here. It's just going to execute from everybody who still has the cooldown. We're going to execute the title command at their action bar, which is brand new for 1.11, which I absolutely love. We're just gonna, we got a bunch of fancy JSON here. If you really want to learn how to do this, there are generators everywhere and tutorials everywhere, but we just wanted to display their score with a couple bits of text around it. And then if their cooldown is up, which is what I've done here, if their cooldown is exactly 1, which is at the very last tick of cooldown, I'm just going to clear the title because we want to indicate to them that the cooldown is up. Alright, so that is basically how the potions work. We've just got a couple bits to discuss at the end here. So the first two commands here are very simple. This first one adds 0 to their healing cooldown T objective because they have to have a score in that objective. If you don't know, I've explained this multiple times before. Adding 0 will give them an entry in that scoreboard so that the system can test for it, because if they don't have an entry, we can't use the score selector. And the next one is just going to decrement their cooldown if they currently have a cooldown. Very simple. And then the stuff afterwards is the commands that are used to clear the items. And now this is kind of cool, actually, I think. So what we're going to do is, remember we gave everybody who we need to clear a potion from their inventory, we gave them the clear potion tag. And so what we're going to do is we're going to execute, what is this? Oh, this is just resetting everybody's carrot on a stick tag. Okay, so what we're going to do is we're going to set everybody with the tag clear potion, we're going to set their potion slot objective depending on what item they have selected, right? So this one does 0 if they have 0 selected, 1 if they have 1 selected, etc., all the way up to 8. So this is just going to make the potion slot scoreboard be the slot that I have selected when I drank the potion. And the next 9 commands here are just replace item commands that are going to replace my hotbar slot with air if I have that slot selected. So it's only going to replace the slot where I actually had the potion, and that way we're always going to replace the proper slot. So if I wanted to, I could even replace this with a bottle if I wanted it so that when they drink the potion, a bottle remains. But for an adventure map, that's really inconvenient because you just end up throwing the bottle away anyway. So I'm just going to replace it with air. And then this last one here is playing the drink sound, and then this last one is removing the clear potion tag if they have it. So that is this entire contraption explained. Alright, so if you managed to get through that entire explanation, then thank you very much for sticking around, but that is all the time I have for today, and this contraption. So yeah, I really like this contraption, and I'm looking forward to maybe using it in a map. I think it's much better for maps than the current potion implementation. But if you did enjoy the video, then a like would be much appreciated, and follow me on Twitter, hello little guy, at NanoRexMC for more updates. But thanks for watching, guys, and I will see you next time. Rex out.